In case you missed it, the headline said it all. No bail for Durk. The judge didn't hold back. Nothing has changed to warrant release. She cited a report saying Durk violated federal custody rules by using other inmates' phone accounts and making three-way calls. Even the official lawyer for the prison workers was in the courtroom and backed it up, saying this isn't just bending the rules, it's breaking them.
Update on Lil Durk. He had his bond hearing today. He looked good. He looked like he was in good spirits. No crazy weight gain or anything like that. He looked good. The judge was on the same vibe she was on last time, which is that, wait, they're saying murder for hire. They're saying you put bounties up. They're saying you ordered. They're saying this. I'm saying that's going to be no bond. There's basically no argument you can make to this judge in a murder for hire case to get a bond. Is that the prosecution's case has taken two major hits. One, the prosecution has had to abandon their allegation that he rapped and celebrated about this murder, that he put these lyrics out talking about, oh yeah, I got you, you out here screaming no, no, crying in the street. The prosecution had to back away from that allegation. It was proven false. They need that allegation.
As he mentioned, the case is getting weaker for the prosecutors, especially since they can't use Durk's lyrics anymore. But it gets even better. Lawyer Mo stepped in to explain that the prosecutors also had to back off on several other key points, further chipping away at their case.
The other allegation they backed away from, which was huge, it shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
But that's also why they hit him with a new charge. Thunu said. Durk is now facing a new charge in his murder for hire case after being hit with a second superseding indictment yesterday. While prosecutors have removed mention of song, lyrics, which is bad news for Durk. On May 1st, a California grand jury indicted Durk. The rapper now faces a new charge stalking, resulting in death linked to the 2022 killing of Wando's cousin. This comes on top of earlier charges, using interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, conspiracy, and using, carrying, and firing firearms. Still, the prosecution has now taken out all references to the murder and lyrics from the updated indictment, which is great for Durk. That's why his legal team is already pushing for another bond hearing. His lawyer called the charges a joke, saying lyrics were all they hadn't. Now those are off the table.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Adam. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
With little evidence against Durk, Drew asked around the rap scene about the songs the feds were using, and quickly found out they were recorded and dropped before the crime even happened.
We got the indictment. We noticed, and we started hearing from people in the music world. People are like, this doesn't really make sense. That song, those lyrics were done a long time before that. I mean, we were hearing it from all different directions. We were hearing it from studio people. We were hearing it from people that wear suits to work every day, executives. Yep. And so we were like, we got to get to work. We got to figure this out.
Due to the nature of Durk's case, Drew's lawyer said they're going all in, refusing any plea deal. It's all or nothing for Durk.
You know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen like this. Seems like it's a do or die. This is kind of like it's going to be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either are or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy case. It's an all or nothing case. He did not participate in a conspiracy. So there is no alternative. A life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to 12 people.
They're going all the way for one key reason. Durk's lawyers are holding on to his First Amendment rights, arguing that just because he said it in music doesn't make it fact.
The First Amendment, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you can go back and there's country records, and there are pop records, and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is telling.
Even online lawyers are drawing parallels to Young Thug's case, suggesting that Durk might also be released.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted did end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, and it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released months before.
He even pointed out that the prosecutors don't fully understand rap culture, often misinterpreting artistic expression as literal evidence.
And I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip-hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. Sometimes they might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but doesn't necessarily, but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desired use of it.
But these new charges against Durk changed everything. Prosecutors dropped the key lyric evidence. The news quoted, "Look on the news and see your son screaming, 'No, no,' while Quando was seen at the scene yelling the same words."
Search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath. This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
It raises serious questions about how strong the case against Durk really is. One recent update revealed that over 230 gigabytes of digital evidence spanning audio recordings, video footage, and 20,000 pages of reports are now being processed for discovery. Prosecutors claim Jam provided much of this material and that it could lead to 2 additional murder-for-hire charges against Ha. The feds believe he allegedly paid to have 2 people targeted. First, Stefan Mack, who was tied to the death of Durk's brother, DTHNG. And second, Jam's baby mother, who died after Durk reportedly learned Jam had worn a wire. Federal agents reportedly view Jam as the key witness linking Durk to all 3 incidents, especially after Durk seemed to notice during an Instagram live that Jam might be wired based on how he grabbed his jacket.
I ain't gonna lie. My whole brain changed. I ain't gonna lie. Feeling like back in the day. Oh, oh, dang. Look like that. He took out.
Check on your man. Know what you got.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna lie, man.
Hey, when I was growing up, I don't have a day architect. I don't have a day. School just out down.
All that whooping on the net, it got your man.
Months after that Instagram live, Durk stated that he can always tell when someone around him is cooperating.
I see shit from a mile away. I don't think people realize that. I can have a conversation with you for 5 seconds with you and know your
Durk further revealed that he didn't allow anyone into his house for an entire year before his arrest.
Nobody ever allowed to my house. It be our best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
I promise. Like, it's people like I just don't allow around my girl and my kids because it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the. I have family night at Durk house tonight.
You say everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah. We gotta everybody getting watched. Watch everybody. Hey, they go too close to them kids. What to do? Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play.
What's strange is that the person who is now snitching received $50,000 from Durk in cash just 2 years ago, but is now turning against them.
What's his name? Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Look.
See that?
Feed
My
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies. I gotta hold my money like this. It's too much. Crazy low. I'm sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do it. Whatever it is I want to go out and do it. Not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can do that, bro.
Bro got out what?
You know that
Haven't you did all?
the year I did it now?
Yeah. That's what it be. 12. Sweet. That boy popped out 12 years. Man. So much money. We really just get in order to pick out planes. Man, boy.
The feds dug into the people in the background of this Instagram live and discovered that a few of them were suspects involved in the takedown of Lil Pab. To make things even more interesting, they were also seen shopping with King Von in the past.
Solitary.
Let's go over there. Boss, you good? My boy.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in.
As a result, they're now tying the Stephen Mack case to Durk. They presented evidence to the judge showing that. Durk posted an Instagram story saying for Dathong just 30 minutes after Stephen Mack was taken out. Additionally, an Instagram live the following day shows Durk laughing and appearing in good spirits, raising suspicions about his involvement.
You can't see other shit. What? Chicken on phone. Hey, somebody else said slap car. What is it? Slap car.
The case against Durk is getting more complicated as news outlets reported that prosecutors have delayed his chance for bond to gather last-minute evidence for the upcoming hearing. There's also growing speculation about a new snitch in the case. Chatter in the courtroom suggests it could be linked to the recent arrest of Brick Baby. Last week, Brick Baby, along with others from the Rollin' 60s gang, was taken down in a major operation. Lawyers and sources now believe that Brick Baby will cooperate with the feds, potentially providing information that could implicate. The timing of these arrests has led legal experts to suspect that the feds are pressuring Brick Baby to testify against Durk. This suspicion stems from a live stream 3 years ago where Brick Baby mentioned, "You can't say Durk never slid for Vaughn because they got Lil Pab." After Durk's arrest, the feds may be using this past statement as part of their case, intensifying the pressure on Durk.
But was this an attempted hit? I was
say that.
Why? Like, you died.
You can't say that.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Or who?
Nah, because Lil Bob.
So this is about the...
Oh! What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
The feds have already attempted to link Durk's lyrics to the case, claiming they have an AT&T connection tied to Brick Baby. He reportedly said that he would have provided Quando Rondo's location if Durk had requested it.
Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, he had to ask me, I probably would have been. If he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I'd accept it. Right.
With Brick Baby now in custody, authorities could offer him a plea deal in exchange for his testimony against Durk. However, Charleston White unexpectedly stepped in, claiming responsibility for Brick Baby's arrest.